Hello and welcome to an Everquest 115 Magician Setup Guide slash how to play one. Let's get right into it here. So here we are on my 115 Mage Gnome Regard. And we're going to go over spells, we're going to go over my hotbars, my multi-bind that I got set up for this guy. I'll cover briefly how I set up my extended targets, and we'll talk about things. So let's go straight into this. Spells. First and foremost, I have Twin Cast. Twin Cast allows you to twin cast any damaging spell. This is an insane damage boost for the Magician class. Then I have Riotous Servant, which is the 115 Swarm Pet. This allows me to just summon, where's my training dummy? Just summons a little pet right here, a gargoyle, that just beats on the thing. Does insane damage. If we can look at other melee, right? He's hitting it for like 34, 35, 17k, 36k. I mean, he's just gonna do massive amounts of damage. And it's just a part of my rotation. Oh, it's a little laggy. Not sure what's going on. All right, and then we got Shockwave of the Many. So this is a damaging spell that does more damage based on the number of pets that are out. It scales from 1 pet doing 30,000 all the way up to 7 pets doing 53,000 damage, and that's before crits and twin casts, so you can only imagine. And other player pets also count. So I have my pet, I have my little summon pet that's already despawned, plus I have other spells we'll cover that generate more pets to get to that magical 7 pets. So it's really nice. And then we have Chaotic Pyroclasm. This is, I think I had Fickle Conflagration in here in the 110 video. This is the 115 version of this. So this is a 32,000 nuke that triggers a chance to give this here, which has a 25% chance to cast Flames of Power, which will increase the damage of one spell by, what is that, 60 to 150%. So there's a chance for that. There's also a chance for getting mana back, 2,800 mana. There's a 10% chance to twin cast. There's a 25% chance to jolt, which just reduces my hatred. And then there is a 4% chance to refresh all the spells except for twin cast. And then a 1% chance to decrease your spell damage by 5 to 15%. So how long is that? And for 12 seconds. So yeah, like 2 or 3 nukes, right? So it's definitely it's a good spell to put into the rotation here. You're getting 32,000 damage plus a chance at something good or something terrible. Then we have Spear of the Molten Camelite. This is a 44,000 damage nuke, and if we go ahead and cast that here, we should get like a right here. Yeah, we got a critical, which did almost 500,000. So you can kind of see how like how that scales, right? Just insane amount of damage. Oh, I don't even know what happened there. We got 2 500,000s out of that. So we got a twin cast, we got a lucky critical, and then we got Surge of Ice. I'm even not sure where that one's coming from. Surge of Ice, what is this? Strikes your target dealing. Where did that one come from? I have a bunch of, I think I hit my burns at some point, and like since I'm in guild lobby, they don't wear off, so the damage is a little bit higher. But you can see here, right? That's 1,000,000 damage in one spell. Plus another 100,000 from Surge of Ice. So definitely very nice. We might even have twin cast going here. Yeah, we do have improved twin cast going, so that's why we're twin casting every single one of these. Then I have Frozen modulation here, which just gives me an extra mod rod. It's this one right here, the Wand of Restless Modulation, which gives me 26,000 mana back. And then we have Composite Companion, which does Composite Companion 1, because I don't have any of the progression done in Calls of Yushin. Allows it to, here we just click it here, right? So this is kind of like a mini pet buff, right? It will increase all melee damage by 160%, heal the pet for 21,000 every 6 seconds, increase all stats by 200, adds a chance for melee strikes to trigger Composite Companion's strike, which does 33,000 damage and removes hatred. Like, it's just like goes insane, right? And yeah, so it's a really good proc for your pet. Just you want to cast that on cooldown. It's pretty high priority. Then we have Ice Flame Rampart, which cloaks your pet in an Ice Flame ward, which deals 2,100 damage to any creature that strikes it. And grant it a chance to cast Ice Flame Aza 9, which is 6,100 damage. So this one, like the way I play, because I have a tank, not so important, but I keep it on anyway because I do turn on Taunt on my pet, no matter what pet it is. It doesn't matter because it doesn't die. I turn Taunt on sometimes when I'm playing, so if there's content where my tank, which is a paladin, could get theoretically killed, I turn Taunt on, and so, you know, it's just what it is. My rotation on my paladin is constantly taunting, so he's gonna have aggro no matter what. But if the paladin goes down, pet taunts it, and everything's still good. So next I have Gather Potency, which is a it's a mana regen spell. So this will it's like an 8-minute recast, gives me 20,000 mana. I just have it in my multi-bind for getting mana back. I do have issues with mana sometimes, but sometimes I don't. I'm not 100% sure what that is at this point, but you know, like I have mana issues with my druid, and sometimes I have them with the mage, but most of the time he's full mana, so it's just really just weird to me. Then we have Burnout, which is the pet haste that you get at like level very first levels or something like that. But now it's you know, increases their damage by 25%, attack speed by 185%, attack rating by 281, and armor class by 39. Oh, and strength. So this lasts for quite a while. It says an hour. Where is it at here? But with all my gear, it lasts for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And if we send the pet here, this is a water elemental pet. Oh, good. He's already teleported behind. All right, we just send him in, right? Send him behind this. This is a lower level combat dummy, so he's going to do even more damage. But you can see here, he's hitting, you know, 25,000. He backstab for 37,000. So as long as you have him on the back of the mob, that'll work. And the way I typically play with the mage, because like I am boxing, right? So where's my tank? Is that him? Yeah, I have models turned off. With my tank, I run through the group and then I turn around so that the group is like over here, right? And I can then send the pet on, and it typically works pretty well for me. It just depends on the mob that I'm fighting, right? Stop. All right, I don't know what I'm getting. I'm getting some serious lag right now. Like it's been crazy since the expansion came out. But I have, you know, that's just the pet buff, right? And then I have Restless Symbiosis, which takes health from your pet, right? So we click it. See, he takes a little bit of damage. I guess not, because he is super strong, right? So, but it takes 9,000 health from the pet, and it creates a shield that will increase our mana regeneration for 10 minutes. Now, with all the stuff, it's 20 minutes, so you can kind of see here, right? Right now, our mana regen is at 909, which is pretty good. If we sit on our crappy little mount here, we get to 951. And that is some good mana regen. That's kind of why he stays pretty good. And I think, you know, probably some of my my mana regen issues is I forget to rebuff that. He has a box, so I don't look at him I don't look at his screen as much as I probably should, because I have multi-bind set up for all his skills. Then I have Call of Heroes. I always have Call of Heroes up. Call of Heroes is group Call of Hero. And it summons everybody in the group. And typically what I do is I run the mage to wherever I'm going, summon everybody, so I don't have to worry about auto follow breaking, anything like that, and I can just position them how I want from there. And then I have a pet in my last slot. Now, if I wasn't boxing this character, I'd probably have more damaging spells memorized, but I don't like to change spells very often. I like to kind of just have my set is what I use, you know, and go with one spell bar. And this works for me. There's, you know, sometimes I gotta swap out for other spells and whatnot, but for the most part, this is what I run in like 99.999, like infinite nines situations. I'll change out the pet and stuff like that, but all of our self buffs are covered by Unity here, so like Bodyguard, Shield, Restless Guardian, and Chaotic Bestowal, that's all covered by Unity, so I don't even have to memorize any of those spells anymore. They're just taken care of. And typically I'm lazy, so I'm going to use Unity until, what is the next one? It's 120, so I'm going to be using the same one until 120. I'm not even going to change any of the spells. That's how lazy I am. So typically you'd probably want to do that. You'd probably want to switch these out, because these, you know, I'm gonna at 116. I think I get a shield upgrade. I don't know what the levels on all these other ones are, but you know, you probably want to run those. But I'm lazy, and that's just how I play that. And it doesn't really, I mean, it's like a small percentage. The percentage chance from, you know, these different spells is not as significant as you would think. But that's, you know, and then I have a water pet. I run the water pet just for the extra backstab damage. You'll notice that I have not given him weapons. I've been told by many people that giving pet weapons that proc cause lag and all kinds of stuff like that. So I haven't been giving him anything, but if I were to give him a weapon, I would give him I think someone told me to buy the daggers that the research vendor sells. But like, here we go, let's create. But if you're gonna give them weapons, right? If you have a situation where your pet is gonna be tanking, you're gonna want him to have some aggro, right? And luckily there is an option for that. If you hold down Control and click on a bag, let's do this first bag here, right? It takes everything out of the bag and puts them in there. Someone left a comment and told me that. I can't remember the name and I can't find the comment, but it puts everything in the bag so you don't have to like move it around. So it's like so great. You do have like a bag of weapons, right? So there's all kinds of junk here. And the rainbow ones jolt, so they take less aggro. I can't think of a reason why I'd ever use that one. These red ones here, they increase your aggro. Now this is the one, if I had a pet tank and it was the, you know, going to be like say an earth pet or something like that, I would give him these, because his DPS doesn't matter. Two, this is going to give him, you know, a lot more hatred, and that's going to be great if you don't have a real tank to tank these. And then the ice ones do ice damage. Fire ones do fire damage, and these ones do magic damage. So just, you know, whatever you're fighting, you might want to give these to your pet. I'm just going to give him these right now because it looks cool. It doesn't really matter. Probably the lag isn't a big issue for me, you know, because I'm playing 6 characters and I'm not in a raid, but I don't know. I haven't parsed it out to see what the DPS difference is between just straight daggers and using these proc weapons, but that's what you would use. You would use this one. Now, another thing about the Mage pet that the Necro and Beast Lord pets do not have is, where is it at here? Summon armor? Yeah, right here. So mages can summon armor, right? And they get a whole bag of junk here, right? Let's drop this down. And control click that into our bag. And there you go. You see we got all this armor now, right? Wow, that's so nice, so cool, right? Give a piece to him. I don't need this. Because when you summon a mage pet, he is already geared. They already have this, whatever you can summon, they already have it. I think he has the belt too. Yeah, he has it all. So you don't even have to do anything there. Which is really nice, right? When I played my Necro, I was always trying to like get the mage weapon stuff, the mage weapons and the mage gear, so I could put all that on him. Some people put conflagrant armor on their pet, like conflagrant warrior gear, I think it is. But you can see here like the difference in stats, just because conflagrant armor is pretty easy to get. But I'm too lazy for that. I'm too lazy to craft an extra set of conflagrant gear. But some people do, and I'm just not one of those people. So, but hotbar wise, let's kind of get into this here. I have a hide corpse macro on my number 1. All my characters have the same one there, and then auto inventory. I have other hot buttons that summon mod rods, right? Like I'll summon a mod rod, and then now I have a mod rod sitting on my cursor on all 6 characters, right? So auto inventorying that will pop it all into everybody's bag, and they all have it on the same button, so they all do it at the same time. And then I set this one up because I was having situations where I wanted my pet to attack, but I did not want to do anything else. Like I have the way I have my multi-bind set up, like my paladin, he will work on 4 and he'll work on 5, right? If I hit a spam 4, he's going to do his rotation. If he spams 5, he's going to do his rotation, because in the hotbar configuration, right, you have an alternate key press. So you have your standard key press for your hotbar. Where's my multi-bind bar? It's like 6, right? Yeah, see, like this is how you do it, right? You bind every single button on the hotbar, which in this case is this one right down here. You bind it all to whatever button you want it to be. Every time you push that, it multi-bind does that. So for me, I have, 4, which is where I have my paladin doing his business, and then I have 5 where I have everybody else assisting in doing their business. But the paladin does 4 and 5, so I don't have to do 4, 5, 4, 5. I don't have to hit the 2 buttons. I just have to hit the 1 because I'm lazy, right? So, but I wanted a situation where I could be like, you know what? I need my pet to go attack whatever the tank is fighting, right? But I don't want to start doing anything yet. Like I don't want to do nukes. There was certain cases where that was a situation, but it's just assist does that. Next, I have my assist button here. Now this is kind of involved, right? It's another pet attack macro pretty much, but in here at the same time I do have the use item commands for my 2 mod rods. So the Radiant Modulant Shard and the Restless Wand there. So every time I do an attack, I try to use a mod rod. I want that mana back, as fast as I possibly can. And 5, since that is multi-bound, so my order is pretty much my spell order. I try to do that on most of my characters. Is the order you see here is the order that I'm casting spells in, because I like to do like Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, to cast these spells when I'm casting manually. So I want to be able to, do my rotation with one hand, right? Without having to go down here to like 11, which it's not even an 11 key, right? So, know, it's just the way I play. But you can do whatever you want. So it goes into several commands here. So we have a twin cast, then it goes into Riotous Servant. What is this one here? Shockwave, Composite Companion, and then I have Gather Potency, just in case we can use that. It's 8-minute cooldown, so it'll get skipped in, you know, most situations. Servant Row, which is an AA ability which summons a 1/16 pet. So there's, you know, there's one pet. So you got one pet here, one pet here, one pet here. So we're at 3 pets. Then we got Host of Elements, which summons 3 more pets. So we're at 6 pets. And this is on an AA, so it can't be used all the time, but it's a 10-minute reuse. So we have 6 pets out right now in our mental rotation here. And then we have Dimensional Shield, which is a self-debuff. Arcane Whisper, which is another aggro reducer. Then we have Chaotic Pyroclasm. We have Spear. And then we have Second Wind, which puts a guard on the pet. I spam it. I don't really care. It lasts for 30 minutes, and it's a 20-minute reuse, right? Well, should be on your pet at all times, in my opinion. But play it however you want. And then I have another auto inventory because during my rotations, I do hit 6, which will summon a Mod Rod, right? So if like my Shaman or Druid run out of Mod Rods, you know, during, you know, the rotation of fighting something, I want to be able to get a Mod Rod back in their hands as soon as possible. Typically he's gonna lose a Mod Rod about the same time. Like he'll lose one of them. Whenever I lose one, it just spams my window because I'm hitting the button so fast. Every time it does it, it tries to activate the Mod Rod when I hit the 5 key. So all right, so we're Frenzied Burnout. I do this, it's a 10-minute reuse, but I do it on cooldown. Just increases the pet to be even more massively damaging. It's just insane. It's a really good spell here. All right, then we got Turn Summoned. On the off chance somehow we're fighting a summon mob, this is a 5-minute reuse, 600,000 damage to summon mobs. Now, truth be told, there are not a lot of summon mobs in the game. Like, they're not, but if the mob is not a summoned mob, this doesn't do anything. I do the same thing with the Paladin for one of his undead AAs, so it is what it is. Free damage when it is a summon mob, but I don't think I've ever fought a summon mob, honestly. Alright, then I have Summon Mod Rods, which is just Alt-Act 596, which is this one right here, Summon Mod Rods, with some auto inventory after it. You know, I used to have the cast for Wand in there, but it was just getting a little bit annoying. Then my burns, right? I got Spire, I got Thaumaturge's Focus, Companion of Necessity, Improved Twin Cast, Focus Arcanium. So that's a lot of stuff, right? That is a lot of stuff. So let's go right up here to Spire. Spire is, every class gets a Spire from what I understand. And they all seem to be pretty much the same thing. More damage, more damage, more damage, or more healing. And that's pretty much what this is, more damage. Was this 24% chance to crit? I mean, let's see here. Apex of the Elements. This does even more damage. It's like a damage shield, it's more damage. Melee strikes, you know, do more damage. It's just insane. Pet gets a buff, which grants your summoned pets melee chance to trigger that, which deals 37,000 damage. We're doing a lot of damage when that's out, right? So that's pretty much how that works. Focus, which just increases the direct damage of the base damage of your direct damage spells by 60 to 70%. 10% extra crit on there, and increases the mana cost, but That's not a big deal. A companion of necessity. This summons another pet. So that gives us 7 pets. So in a burn situation, the mage himself, I can get 7 pets out in ideal conditions, right? Now it's not a real big deal to me because I'm boxing 6 characters, right? I'm always gonna have the 7, right? I have an enchanter pet, I have a shaman pet, I have the druid pets that are always out. Like my druid summons a swarm pet and stuff like that. So I'm regularly over 8 pets out. So this, I do it on cooldown just so I have that pet just in case. And this actually saves my life. I no joke, right? Like I hit burns only when I'm fighting names, right? I don't typically hit my burn buttons unless I'm fighting a name, because usually the names are a little bit stronger. And this is really good. Like I've had it where my tank, like I pull a mob in, right? My tanks, I'm trying to slow. I got my shamans, doing the multi-bind to heal. My enchanter is available to slow, and sometimes before the mob gets slowed, things go bad really quick. And my paladin will get down to like almost dead. But since I'm burning, this thing right here will taunt everything. And it will tank everything. Now, I'm surprised it hasn't been updated since Ring of Scale, and it's only a 110, but this thing can tank really well. So that's probably something they need to fix and upgrade this for the last... what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expansions. I love this thing. It pulls enough aggro to get it off my paladin so that if he's about to die, he's gonna live. Or it gives me that extra few seconds to get the situation under control so that everything is slowed, the paladin is defensive or whatever he needs to be to tank, right? So then we go into improved twin cast. Now there's like twin cast and improved twin cast do not stack, right? That would be ridiculous. But since I'm using twin cast, the spell on cooldown, it's usually not up. So when I burn, I get this twin cast for 20 spells for 2 minutes. Just extra twin cast button right there. And then Focus Arcanium just lowers resist. At this point, this is like, just setting everything up for the burn, right? Like, I don't start doing my cast until I have all these things out. Then we got Focused Rejuvenation, which refreshes spellcast. So it does not refresh twin cast, but it will refresh everything else. So that is something useful there. So like... my gather potency will get refreshed. I got a wrong spell here, but I think all the other ones that have a little bit slightly or long recast get refreshed. Composite, I think, gets refreshed. So definitely worth doing just to make sure all those are up and ready. Then I go into silent casting, which lowers my aggro. I don't know where that one's at, right down here. Silent casting, yeah, 90% less aggro. We need that. We're definitely gonna need that. Now, I haven't ever had an issue where I pull off my paladin, but I've pulled off my warrior and I've pulled off my shadow knight with the other incarnations of my mages and all the other classes. So, just a FYI there. But I haven't had it with the paladin. I don't know if I'm just luckier and what. Heart of the Skyfire, another damaging spell here. This increases damage to your spells by 95 to 145%, reduces your hatred, increases the damage built by criticals by 50%. So at this point, we're doing it's probably like 100% critical chance, plus we're doing probably another 200% critical damage, right? So this is getting insane. We have shield developments here, which is just an absorb. So if we do get hit, you know, this is up at the same time. This lasts for a minute, which is pretty good for the amount of time, like the burn, right? Typically works pretty well. And then we do the robe, which I'm wearing a Valium threaded robe at the moment, which will allows your pet's next 8 bash backstabs to trigger companion's assault, which does 117,000 damage, right? So if my pet is behind backstabbing, he's gonna do 800 and something extra thousand, right? I mean, well, it's more than 800,000, but you know what I mean. Almost over 1 million extra damage there. Same with the bashes. It's crazy. And then that's the click effect. So that's what's going to be going on there. So, and then the robe also provides us critical damage to our main spell. So, and then do I have anything in burn 3? I do. I have Glyph of Ultimate Power and I have Insanity. So I need to move the Glyph out. I think I said that in the last video. I just haven't even bought the Glyphs yet because I haven't had enough AAs. I've been trying to level them up mostly. And Intensity Resolute is another high damage increasing spell that does not stack with Spire and does not stack with Glyph. So keep that in mind. Then I have Sit. When I hit 0, I have all my characters Sit. It just makes it easier to med. Drape of Shadows here. This is our escape ability. Sometimes a pull will go awry, and I don't want to fight the mob that I pulled. So I will hit minus sign, and all my characters will use all their evade spells. You know, the monk feign deaths, the druid will do the same invis thing, same with everybody else for the most part. I think the shaman turns into a totem. It's interesting. And then I have a mount. I do not have a mount, like a good mount yet, mostly because I'm literally trying to do the progression for TOV to get a mount. And when we do that, we'll get a great mount there. And I took all my gear off my 120 Mage that is no longer an active account. So that's why I have out of TOV gear. Let's see here. Then I have a debuff button. So this actually is a pretty good button here. So this will, you know, assist, give my X target 19. Send the pet in. I always want to send the pet in. And then it'll do Wind of Malaise. Or if that's not available, Malaise. So these are AoE Mallow and single target Mallow. And I want every target I fight Mallowed. Now, I like the AoE one because I only have to do it once per fight, but that has like a 30 or 40 second recast time. I just can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? It's down here, right? Yeah. This has a 1 minute recast time. So, typically my fights don't last that long. Like I think I'm spending like 20 seconds per mob, maybe 30 seconds per mob. So just depending on how many I pull, I typically pull solo pulls just because I like to play it safe. But this will do that, and the single target one is a 5 second recast. So that one's always up when I hit the debuff button. Let's see here, short duration buffs. So I used to do Summoned Orb. I don't do that anymore. I don't even hit this button anymore, I guess. No, I have it doing the myself one now. So I used to do Blazing Orb, which is a clicky nuke item you can summon, but the tediousness of that while boxing is not fun. So I got rid of it. Now I just summon the Mod Rod. That's what I do. And then I summon the other Mod Rod if it's available. Typically this macro works pretty well when I want it to. I can just hit it. So I got the summon Mod Rod, and then it waits 7.5 seconds. Because that's how long it used to take to cast the other one. And then there we go. We can cast Radiant Mod Rod. There we go. And my enchanter cast her short duration buffs too. All right, then we have a Tranquil Blessing and Mass Group Buff, which for when I do damage shields, like in the lag pile, there you go. That's how I do that. Let's see here. What's on the extra? Follow. I have a follow macro. It's pretty standard. It targets X target 1, which is always my tank. I stand up because if you hit follow while you're sitting, you don't stand up. I stand first, so there's no mess ups there. I turn attack off. Now, something I've been messing around with, I don't know, I think I have it on any of his macros right now. I do on this one here. I have attack on. Now, I want to melee. Melee is very beneficial because look at this. We have a 12,000 nuke proc on our weapon here, right? And then sometimes we'll get a, Surge of Ice, which is the sympathetic proc, which just for casting a spell we'll get that. That's where that came from. Earlier in the episode, I couldn't figure out where that came from. That's where it comes. It's the proc on the weapon. And so you want to be meleeing, right? Like we want to be hitting, and we want to also be casting, right? So that's kind of how that works. You're going to proc from swinging the weapon. You're going to proc from casting. So, but when I follow, I want them to turn attack off. That's the whole roundabout there. I also have an Invite Holdridge, which is my tank. I have on him, where is he at here? I have an Invite Everybody. Now, if everybody has on their follow button Invite Holdridge, they join his group. This, like when you invite somebody, this turns into follow, right? Inviting that person that invited you joins their group. So that just allows me to pretty much be able to click one button to invite everybody and then hit my follow button. So everybody follows me and joins me in my group and we're all happy. Then I have all my transportation-ish things, bind, my portals to the guild hall, my gate, my origin, my campfire, my stein, my throne, all the transportation abilities. All right, and these are just my my two multicast bars. Down here, all those ones we already went over, and then I have a hotkey for Lesson of the Devout. Then over here I have kind of like easy access buttons for the Gather Potency, Summon Mod Rod, and Clicky Mod Rod, right? Sometimes I don't want to have to go through the whole multi-bind process of doing things. I just short circuit them and I click them over here. And this also allows me, when I'm on like my other character, I can look at over at the little tiny screen, the way Iceboxer kind of like divides all the screens up. I can kind of like look at it and I can see, oh, he doesn't have such and such mod rod. I need to make a new one, right? So there's that. I have a hotkey for Call Hero, which is summons, like it takes a pearl, summons a character to you from anywhere in the zone as long as you can target them. And I believe you have to be in the group. So if I'm, one into zone and I want everybody to come to me, I can summon one. I can summon them all with Call of the Heroes here. All right, and then I have Eradicate Magic, which is our Dispel. I don't really use it too much. I do have an enchanter, but just in case I do need to use it, it's there. Elemental Conversion is another way for us to get mana back. It takes 120,000 health, gives us back 30,000 mana. Great little spell here. The next one is even better, but it's just another way to get mana back. Works the same as Gather Potency, right? It's just more mana, get it back. I do not have it in my multi-bind, because it does take 120,000 health, and I don't like I've never like when you do cannibalize on the shaman, right? You try to kill yourself, you won't. It prevents you from dying. I don't know if this prevents me from dying, and I haven't put any effort into trying to see if it does or not. but it would be a nice candidate to put into my multi-bind, just so it's always on cooldown. I don't have to worry about it. Heart of Froststone, just an absorb. I don't even probably use this ever. It only lasts 3 minutes, so it's not really one of those fire and forget kind of spells. Shield the elements. We do have this in our burn button, yeah, which is just a shield to keep us from dying. Then I have Shrink Companion, which shrinks our pet. As you can see, it's a little tiny pet now. I have Summon Companion, which will summon our pet to us. And then I have Suspend Companion, which will make him go away. Oh, we have no pet, but if you click it again, you get your pet back, right? There he is, fully buffed and ready to go. Now I can suspend him, right? Now I can go ahead and summon another one, Manifestation of Water. Look at this guy, 114. And we can then, so notice he's fully large, no buffs, nothing. We can go here to suspend, and they swap. So I have a pet in my back bar now. So if this guy dies, I can summon him back another one, right? But yeah. All right, Companion's Aegis. This is a great spell. If my pet was tanking, I would do this on cooldown. I do it on cooldown on my Necros. This gives it's equivalent to like the Paladin or Warrior or Shadow Knight, like thwart abilities. It's like a mini little shield that absorbs damage off of a number of hits, right? This one, so this lasts for 36 minutes, right? It's a 30-second reuse, a 36-minute duration, right? So I can cast it on him now, and he's gonna have that for the next 30 minutes, and I don't even have to think about it, right? Like, if I was pet tanking, I would put this on cooldown, no hesitation. Min Companion is just a pet heal. I don't heal my pet. I have, the way I have my shaman set up is she is pretty much doing single target heals on the Paladin and group heals. And when she gets going, she's got 1, 2, and I think she had another one in here. I just switched some spells around. And then Composite Roar, that heals too. Like, there's a lot of healing going out. My Paladin, he's got Splash. I think he doesn't have any of the group heals memorized either. The Druid does have 2 group heals memorized, so there is a lot of healing going out in my group, and healing the pet is not on my to-do list, so I don't bother healing it. If it dies, I summon another one, send it in. It doesn't die. It tanks better than my Paladin. The water elemental tanks better than my Paladin against like normal trash mobs. I can't explain it. But even without all the buffs, right? Just like the bear, just summoned, all it's got is haste. It does better. I don't know. But that play style is not for me. I don't like keeping track of the pet. It's just annoying for me. Then we have Elemental Form, which is a permanent buff. We don't even lose it on death, I don't think. It just gives you a chance to get another buff, which gives you more stuff. Like right now, I've got Elemental Flames, Elemental Earth. So Elemental Earth makes this a little bit tankier. And I believe these go to everybody. Yeah, you can see here. My Paladin here has Elemental Earth and Elemental Flames. And I believe it's whenever I cast a spell, right? Yeah, whenever I cast a spell, it gives a chance to trigger one of those abilities. So air just stuns the target. So it's pretty nice. It also buffs me. And it also gives you an illusion, but I blocked it. Increases health, mana, more mana regen, stuff like that. It's just a great all-around spell. I don't think you lose it on death. Don't quote me on that though. I don't die that much, so I don't remember casting it though. Then I have velocity here, which is it's not going to land on this guy. Let's suspend him. There we go. So velocity is just a lower. There's a lower level spell, but increase the pet's speed, which is very useful for interception. And then early on, we covered Unity and how it just casts pretty much all our stuff, right? Allows a chance to heal unlimited pets in area when you cast a direct damage spell. Yeah, so when we nuke, we heal the pet too. It's insane how I've built the synergy around all these characters. Like, a lot of group healing going out. And the pets, I'm almost always at 7+ pets due to everybody else that's around, right? Now, one improvement I could do to get another pet all the time is run a Shadow Knight instead of a Paladin, which we're gonna try. I am gonna level Holdridge as a Shadow Knight to switch some of these characters around to different classes, but a Shadow Knight would add another permanent pet. The Shaman has a permanent pet. Enchanter has a permanent pet. The Paladin can summon temporary pets. The Monk can summon temporary pets. But it is what it is. And then that's like all of that stuff, right? Yeah, that's all that. So let's look at AAs, right? So they just recently made it so that all of the AAs up to I believe all of the Terror of Lucklin, Torment of Velius became auto grant. So now all we have left to get are Claws of Venetian ones, which really helped me out. In all honesty, that was a lot of AAs that we got granted. But AA wise, I am going to be focusing on damage, and mostly the focus is at first. Synergy is not until 120, but that is going to be the first one I get at 120. What is this one here? So this one's at 122. These are all at 115. So I'm going to focus on getting the focuses and stuff like that. I don't know. There might be a few in here. I'll probably pick up the next elemental form. No, don't even need to do that. So that's, my general focus is going to be on damage. Anything that increases my damage and anything that increases my pet damage. So like Fury, Fortification, and anything else that's, just more damage. What is this one? Oh, that's a quick damage. I don't get that till 121. But yeah, so AA wise, damage, everything damage. And then after I have all of the damaging ones, I would come back and I'd pick up all the defensive ones in the general tab. But I don't get hit. If I get hit, something really went terribly wrong. I'm already dead anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Gear wise, the best gear you can get at 115 is Velium Threaded. This is the trade skill gear from Claws of Venetian. So this requires an ore. I don't have any on me. Requires an ore from like the Zlandikar missions or the names in Claws of Venetian. This is higher gear than my tank has right now because I haven't killed Zlandikar yet with him. I had a 120 Mage on my other account that it's a free-to-play account now. She can't wear any of this stuff, so I took it all. So I didn't have to make more armor for him. And I didn't want to make... I didn't want to waste ore on the TOV Mage armor. I just went straight... just took this. right? So he's a little bit overgeared now for the content we're going to be doing, but I don't really care. I am literally going to delete this character as soon as I start doing the leveling up the personas. I'm going to put the mage on my necromancer as a persona. I don't need a billion alts. It just becomes annoying to keep track of everything. But Velium Threaded is the best gear. You're gonna want an earring. The earring is probably the most important piece of gear. This one is actually the raid gear. This is the... I think this is the TOV earring, if I'm not mistaken. This is Enhanced Minion 29. I think it says endowed. Let me check my... Like, I'm on Throne of Eye. This is all tradable. You can buy ores. Like, it's yeah. So this is actually the Clausivation raid earring. So this is I got lucky and got 100% luck on this thing. But this is the best pet earring you can get at 115. And I believe it's better than the one you can get at 116. And I believe it is better than the group one at 120. So this is the group one from 120. It is Enhanced Minion 24. So it's better than that one too. So the raid earrings go a lot further. So if you're playing on Throne of Eye, I 100% encourage you to purchase the raid earrings for Necromancer, Mage, or Beast Lord. It is insane how much damage it adds to your pet and how much more durable it becomes. But earrings the most important, and the Velium Threaded is the everything else, right? You're gonna want to run a two-hander. I'm running this one. I think in Terra of Luckland you're gonna want to switch to the fire one. I can't remember if there's multiple one that could have crafted. This is just whatever I crafted at the time. And you're always going to want to use a two-hander as a mage for the proc. You want that high damage proc because let's find the AA. There is an AA called Sympathetic Amplification. So this increases the chance that your spell-triggered magical effects from weapons and is better, right? 32% chance, 34%. So I guess that goes up to 36%. So 32% chance that when I cast a spell, I'm going to get a 12,000 extra proc, right? So 32%. Let's just cast one spell here. Spear. Didn't get it, right? Let's cast this one. We got it there. Let's cast this one. I don't even think that... Oh, I don't have any pets out, so I didn't do anything. Let's do this one. There we go. We got it again. So you can see here that it's a high chance to get that extra damage. Now, if we are... Let's go spell damage. Oh my gosh. If we start meleeing on this guy here, let's just give him a second. Stand behind him. Alright, we got Allied Elemental Strike. I don't even know what that is. I did click all my burns, so those are all on right now. There we go. We got a critical twin cast on a weapon proc doing 74,000 damage twice. Like, it's ridiculous. You need to be meleeing, one, and you need to be casting constantly. So just some FYI there, right? Now, the way I try to set my characters up, because I like to pull like the olden days versus run around to each mob, I try to set them all up so that they're all like facing the same way, and then I put a campfire down as a reference point, but on my over here. So they're all right there, right? Typically that's about how they are. So I'll pull the mob and I'll just like back it up to like right about that position that they can, like, they're gonna swing at it, you know, and it works. Turn key maps back on. So if I get them all, right, if I get them all going. Now, this works too. So I have them all on auto follow. And if I go right here and I'm attacking this guy, right? And I hit 2, which makes them all attack. You can kind of see they're all meleeing, right? The shaman's meleeing. They're all different sizes, so that kind of gets a little bit annoying too. I have to shrink them all with that. All right. So you can see the mage meleeing, the enchanter meleeing. The only one not meleeing is the monk, because she uses a different thing, right? Let's go into 4. There we go. Now everybody's going there, and let's just go 5. And you can kind of see we'll go over here. So they're all in melee range, and sometimes I'll do that. I'll just run mob to mob. There's a few camps where I do that, like the worms in Great Divide, the worms in Western Waste. I'll just run up on them like this and just fight them. Like, it's one of the better things to do. But it just depends. Go. We just cast every spell we can. Get the procs when we can, you know, just whatever. He doesn't have his thing set up, that's why. Alright, let's get you guys over here. And then I turn them all off. I'll turn off attack except for the tank on follow. Alright, so just a lot of dumping there, right? So let's see, that's spells, that's hotbars, that's gear, and AAs, right? I can't think of anything else that would need to be covered at this point in time. There'll obviously be a 120 video, but that's probably going to be way later than the rest of these, because I'm probably going to start the next crew to replace some of these characters to start my consolidation fairly soon. And it's going to change up some things. But with that said, I will be making videos from 50, 55, 60, 65, doing the same thing early on with the lower level versions of the Mage. I don't think I'm going to twink them. I think I'm just going to go straight raw. Just get it done. Twinking, maybe give the Paladin a two-hander or something like that just to make it quicker, but it's just, it's not even necessary in all honesty. But there we go. That's the Mage 115, an hour-long video, jeez. But it goes into details. Like, I mostly box the character, but as you can see, everything I have would work just fine for a non-box character, for sure. And you can always modify it however you want to fit your playstyle. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.